Now, being a longtime anime fan myself, been watching it since elementary school, I happen to come across a couple bangers over the years. Rather it was romance, fantasy, or slice of life, I came across my fair share. And when you watch a lot of anime, you're bound to cross that line where the anime is just so heat. So Reggie Mirajima, one of the most questionable track records I've ever seen, the author behind Rent a Girlfriend, or some would like to say an abomination of a manga, but apparently after 300 chapters he did nothing to progress the plot forward, and he's still the same loser incel he was in chapter 1. And being someone who hasn't read the manga or made it past season 1, I'll take your guys' word for it. This panel is still funny though. So Reggie decides to drop yet another banger that also got an anime adaptation called The Children of the Shiunji Family. And for the sake of this video, I forced myself to read every chapter up until this point so I can accurately assess what's going on or something. I don't know. So we're gonna start off with the characters being Arakta, Konan, Okta, Minami, Seiha, and Barney. These are our 7 main characters of the series, you know, your bread and butter, you know, the Shiunji family. So to start things off, the first chapter and first episode of the anime, we get a bombshell dropped. None of them are actually related, which was quite the relief, honestly, because I thought I was going into this them all being related, but I don't know how they didn't catch on faster. Not a single one of them have the same hair color. You got black hair, pink hair, blue hair, Gojo. So with a bombshell like that being dropped like a normal family would, they get straight to fucking, or should I say coping. With a bombshell like that, it must be hard to get through. So we're gonna start off with the youngest sibling, Kotono. Now she was the first character to start on this meat search journey, also being the youngest sibling. Also, she's the shy and timid type. You know how they go. She's a weirdo. She was constantly showing love to him before she even knew they weren't related. And it doesn't stop there. In the same chapter they found out they weren't related. In typical rom-com fashion, Arakta walks into the bathroom not knowing she's in there, and you know he hits the "No, I didn't see." So Kotono, being the weirdo she is, asks her big brother to help wash her back. I don't know how you can't wash your back at this age, but what the like, you're already in the bath. What are you talking about? You need to wash your back. The water just rinses it off. And here y'all come. Now you just dirty, bro. Ain't nobody washing their back like this. Like, she does not need assistance washing her back. And then he says the typical line, "Yeah, stay warm, you could catch a cold." This dude says this line throughout the whole series, by the way. So with seeing the opportunity that presented itself, she gets out the bath butt-ass naked to basically shoot her shot to straight up try to marry him right then and there. More like a proposal, actually. But trust, she also came prepared, talking about some, I looked it up online, and brothers and sisters who aren't related can get married. Okay. I mean, at this point, you gotta respect the commitment. As soon as she found out they weren't related, she did a full push, even though she was doing this when she thought they were related, which is crazy. And then when you skip forward a couple chapters, she basically ends up going on this date with her brother. I'll explain why later, but we're just gonna list some of the hate crimes she did on this date. So basically, she ends up taking her brother to True Land. I'm pretty sure this is just bootleg SeaWorld or something, or Epcot, I don't know. She even changed up her whole style as an effort to win her brother's approval. And this dude, the whole chapter is talking about some, that's my sister, I can't do it, I can't look, you know, he just, you know, the basic isekai activity. And basically we realized this girl is really trying to seduce this man. So basically she ended up getting the advice from the internet. Basically she went on like Pinterest or something. So that's sign 1, she's trying to seduce this man. And then we also find out she's doing tactics, I kid you not, she got from Instagram. I mean, I know we all guilty of doing this at least one time in our life, but it's the fact she don't even got one tactic, she got like 3. So she basically just doing stuff she would have never did, like absurding her dominance and laughing at this bum ass joke. This was kind of hard to read a little bit. I wasn't laughing at that shit. So basically after she's done going through steps 1 through 5, they then decide to make their way back, where it's revealed she actually hurt her foot because she's never worn these shoes in her life, so she doesn't know how to walk in them. So now he has to carry her, and you know, with her foot hurting anything, you know she's still locked in. So she's like, no, I don't want to go home. So they end up going to this park. So basically a lot of Alabama stuff happens. She goes on a rant on how she wants him to see her as a real woman and not his little sister. And then he talking about, you're a captivating woman. I do this because I don't know, some bullshit, bro. And long story short, she ends up kissing him. I mean, oh shoot, that's crazy. And then he says, the footsteps of a girl who until recently was only my little sister. Yeah, I think you see where this is going. Yeah, Renji in that lab cooking, boy. So with her out the way, we're gonna go over the second youngest, Minami. And her, just like her little sister, she soon developed some feelings for her big brother. And being the most athletic in the family, she also played tennis, where she would try to win the approval of this random, I don't really remember why. I didn't care. And then it soon kind of indicates she got a foot injury, meaning she wouldn't be able to participate in the finals, which means the world to her because, you know, she plays tennis. And she's the type of character to bottle her emotions up because she doesn't want her family to worry about her. So after seemingly going missing, it's revealed she's not actually going to play in the finals because of her foot injury, her coach noticed. And it seems she looks to be kind of cool with this news, but if it wasn't obvious, things were not fine. So after leaving the room, he has a conversation with Gojo over here to also reveal that, yeah, bro, she's hurting. Earlier today, I even saw her crying outside.
So he like, damn, let me spin back real quick.
And he hits it with these powerful speeches. Either way, just don't lie to me or to yourself ever again. And then, you know, she get that little glance, meaning she really touched by the heart. And I'm pretty sure this is the part where she started developing feelings for him, because in the rush of him trying to get her to the game super fast before like time expires and she can't apply anymore, she starts questioning, why are you trying so hard for me? Realizing that she got a W brother, man. Yo, can we get a round of applause? Like, that's a W man's right there. And then he loses his aura about getting on his hands and knees begging for his sister to play in the match. Yeah. Long story short, she loses the match, but she still did win the approval of the random, who I still don't care about. So she goes to sit on a bench, seemingly fine with this loss. Her brother comes over, so she starts yapping about how everything was fine, she tried her hardest, but he's seeing through all the lies. He know deep down she's hurt inside, and like he said previously, you don't need to lie to yourself or to me anymore. And she immediately breaks down in tears, saying her true feelings and how she doesn't want to be seen as weak and she wants to get stronger and stronger. I think this is the second point where she started to like her big brother. But you know how we can really tell? It's the shower scenes of her reminiscing on, wow, he's such an amazing guy. And now every time she sees her brother, she's all flustered up, like she got a big crush on someone. Man's out here catching balls for her, like, you ladies okay? And she fighting over who can give this man some food. Also, not to get carried away, she also had kind of a date with him too, and she just straight up says, I also love him, and basically said her and her little sisters are ops now. Yeah, that pretty much sums up her whole character arc. She's actually not that bad in comparison to her other sisters. I would say she's the most normal compared to her older sister, middle child, Oka. Oh my god, where do I begin? So basically, I would say her whole character arc starts when she runs away to some mountains, you know, where the death forest is located. Not to mention, where's the dad at? His daughter just left home and he is nowhere to be seen this whole arc. So noticing runaway girl is gone, Ata sets on a journey to find her himself. Luckily, she forgot to turn off her location. Rookie mistake. So he tracks her down pretty easily and shows up where she's at in a cabin on the side of the mountain. She's just been sleeping and renting out this cabin, I guess. I don't know why this old lady didn't question anything. Just goes to show how much where the guardians at. So basically, after finding her, they end up going to sleep so they can go home the next day, but she just ends up leaving before that could happen again. And by the way, she's doing all this so she can ask her mom some questions, and she gave her these hair nets, so yeah, that has something to do with it too. Ironically enough, she actually ends up getting lost in the forest and falls and injures her leg. And every sister I've covered up onto this point has had the same injuries, always with the leg. I can't walk. Yeah, you know how they do it, bro. So he ends up finding her and has to carry her all the way back to safety, where it's said she got the idea from, you guessed it, TikTok. Yep, she got it from TikTok. So she basically wanted to go up to the mountains so she can talk to her mom and ask her if she can fuck her brother. So they end up riding back home, and this is where things kind of get interesting. So after saving her from the forest, he develops a terrible fever, I guess from like the rain or like the forest water or something. I don't know. So now all his sisters basically have to look after him and take care of him. And then you got the previous sisters I talked about arguing about who gonna give him food in bed. And then for the remainder of the night, they end up letting him rest, where Oka decides to sneak in his room and all in the same chapters apologize, says, to me, you're my cherished twin brother and a big brother too, and confesses her love for him, then kisses him. Yeah, that happened all in the same chapters. All while he's supposedly unconscious, by the way. He was awake the whole time, but she didn't know that, of course. Like, Japanese can't keep getting away with these kinks. Like, what is up with them, bruh? Like, in the same chapter, you're my twin brother, but I'm in love with you? What are you talking about? This dude too, letting it slide. We know you awake. It's revealed he's awake. So now with all this context, they end up going on a vacation where they basically have a three-way showdown and basically say they all love him and now they're in competition with each other. And whoever gets to marry him, there can be no complaints. That is what they talked about. Three sisters who previously thought they were all related having a conversation about smashing their brother. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. That's crazy. I'm not even gonna go into depth with Seiha's little character arc. Debatably my least favorite sister. She tends to break the fourth wall a lot, but she also ends up confessing her love for her older brother too. Except her reasoning is a little more valid, I guess. Not really, but he took a couple slaps from this bitch. Oh yeah, and the whole Twitter account suspension and him saving her from thugs, but we're not gonna talk about that. And then Barnaby, I'm pretty sure this is my favorite sister. There's not really much to talk about. I'm pretty sure she's going into her character arc now with her loser looking boyfriend, who I'm gonna assume is gonna be a lame in the future, probably controlling, and then she will probably later get saved by her brother. Personally, when her whole character arc's done, I hope she wins him. I mean, we gotta root for somebody at this point, and it's gonna be one of the sisters. But yes, to wrap it up, this is an interesting piece of media, of fiction right here. You can kind of say it suffers from the same thing as Rent a Girlfriend if you think it's bad, but you just gotta keep reading it. Pretty sure this is gonna be shorter though, as he confirmed it's gonna be like 13 volumes. I don't actually know how long that is, but that's a good bit of time, I would assume. I mean, it got an anime adaptation, so somebody was reading this, or maybe they just saw Rent a Girlfriend and said, yo, this is peak, bruh. We will animate this for you too. I don't know. But best girl is definitely Barney.
I go home.